What is up, guys? Jake here with the next video in the beginner series for Vainglory, and today we are going to be talking about the lane. If you want to play a laning character, or you have tried it and just didn't feel right or didn't know what you were doing, hopefully this gives you a few pointers, a few tips to help you on your way. Again, I am not a pro at this, guys. I'm just trying to give you things that I wish I knew when the game started for me and I felt very lost. It took me a while to figure some of these things out. Hopefully I can give you that shortcut and your transition into this game will be much smoother than mine was. So let's again go straight to that practice section. If you want to do anything you want to learn or practice on, I just think this is the best place to do it at the very start. Obviously you want to pick a good lane character, and most of the time I know I'm gonna get comments, oh no, you can lane with Finn and all those things. I know that. But in general, starting off, you're going to want to pick a character that has a ranged auto attack, a ranged abilities that you can poke. Poke is a term that we use for simply hitting another hero outside of their range. So if you poke them, you're dropping a shot on them when really they can't hit you, and you're just making them back up and get out of position. Someone like Celeste is a great laner, probably one of the best right now. Someone like Ringo, a good laner. Saw is a good laner, especially for new people. You can obviously lane with Sky if you get good at it. That's a higher difficulty level. You can lane with Vox. But, you know, probably a Celeste, Ringo, or a Saw is who I would recommend you starting out with if you want to learn how to lane. And I'm pretty sure Ringo is the one that they sort of, you know, push you into if you are doing the what do you call it? You know, when they get you started in the game, the very first thing you do, I think they got you playing Ringo. So we'll go ahead and look at him, and that will give you a good idea of what we're talking about in this. Now, we're not going to get into what you should buy, you know, as a laner, at least not right now. We'll talk about that more in future videos, but more about what you should do as a laner, okay? The things that matter in laning, and the things that you might not know early on, because again, this is a beginner's guide, guys. I know for some of you guys, this is way far. You're way past this, and that's great. I just want to try to catch everybody up to where a lot of us are at, so that they don't feel lost when we're talking, just in general in gameplay. So this is the lane. Again, you'll run out here, and you will start engaging the enemy minions. Obviously, if you're blue team, the minions are going to be red. They're going to be shooting the minions there on the side. And I want you to really watch. In fact, I'm going to zoom in here. Watch this. Watch as the damage starts coming to these minions here. Oh, it don't show it when you zoom in. Dang. All right. Anyways, watch the red bar, and right here you'll see highlight. You see how the red bar turns bright red right when the minion's about to die. What that's going to tell you is that when one shot, you can take that minion out. Okay. And as I told you guys in the first video, the last hit is everything. You know, if you're not getting the last hit, you're not getting any gold. You'll see I take a last hit, 87 gold. I don't get a last hit, no gold. Last hit, 87 gold, okay? So you want to make sure you're, as a laner, that you're taking those last shots. So you'll see people dancing around in the lane like this. They'll dance back and forth, and they'll basically wait for that to pop up, and then boom, you take the shot and you hit it. Now, it takes some skill, especially when you've got an enemy that is sitting there shooting at you, trying to poke you, you know, trying to kill you, essentially. It's a lot more difficult than just standing here in the lane doing it. But however, you can get in this and just practice it and develop that ability to watch and sort of know when it's going to happen, and then boom, you get the shot. Now, another thing you can do is just target one of the, if you just want to, you know, start shooting and not have to wait for that, target one of the minions that are not being targeted by your minions. That's going to allow you to guarantee you get the last shot, and then just when the other one pops up, you turn around and take the hit on it. So remember that last shot, building up gold. A lot of times you'll be heard it referred to as CS. Like if you hit score, you'll see next to my name that little, I've got 000. That's my kills. That's my deaths, my assist. It's always in that order: kills, death, assist. And that little face there, that's how many minions I've killed. So that'll give you a good idea of how well you're doing gold-wise compared to your enemy and to the opponent. So be sure to watch for that, and you want to try to stay ahead on those things. And developing the ability, the skill to get that last shot is very, very important. In the lane in general, especially, let's talk about early game. We just get in the lane and we're fighting. I think you should play conservative, especially while you're learning the game. And what I mean by conservative is pretty much not passing the center point. Now, why do we say that? What's wrong with me passing the center point here? Well, this is a danger zone. The other team, remember, they have 3 players. 2 of them are down in that jungle. If we just tap on this mini screen up here, you see in the top right there, you'll see a little miniature map. If I actually put my finger on that, I can move around the map. My character is not moving, but I can view around the map. They're going to be down in here running around. But remember what I told you guys. If someone is standing in these bushes right here and you are in the lane, you cannot see them. You'll see my name gets kind of grayed out. They're invisible to anybody that's not in this bush as well, unless there's a scout mine and stuff like that, but we won't worry about that right now. So if you get past that center point, you are asking to get what we call ganked. That means the junglers are going to come up, and while you're trying to get those last kill shots, or you're trying to, take out the enemy laner as well, they're just going to run up here, slow you or stun you, and you're going to be dead in 2 seconds. So the reason I say that if you get past that center point that you're sort of playing more aggressive is because the turret protects you. If someone hits you, this is something I didn't know. If I'm sitting here, you'll see the turret is targeting the minions. However, and I'm sitting here shooting those minions, and someone hits me, the turret will immediately, if they're within their range, which is roughly, something like this, if they're within that turret's range, they will immediately, well, actually, I was wrong, that turret shot all the way out there. So let's say the turret's, range is roughly like this. The turret will immediately leave from hitting the minions and start focusing on me or on the person that hit me directly. So even if they're distracted by the minions, they're shooting the minions, and you fall back to your turret and someone attacks you and you're in range of your turret, the turret automatically starts defending you. So this is a very safe area because the turret does massive damage. And each shot that it shoots, like if it shoots them once, the damage is not too bad. The second shot that it hits them actually does more damage. The third shot does even more damage, and so on and so on. So they can't just stand under your turret and take a beating. Now, another thing I want to show you guys is as you get further in the game, maybe you get a kill or your team, you see your team just took out the junglers, and you want to get down and start taking out the turrets, which is obviously part of what you want to do in this game. There's a barrier on the turret, and let's just walk past this turret while they're doing that and show you what I'm talking about. See that white bar on that turret right there? Let me get out of the way here. As I get in there, it automatically shoots me. But the white bar, that shows you that there is a barrier. If I hit this turret, look at that. I'm not doing anything to it because it has that barrier. When the minions, and I'm going to die here trying to make a video. That's great. When the minions of your team, look at the barrier sort of building up on that one there. When the minions get in range of that turret, the barrier goes away. So it's a way for you not to be able to just dive to the very back turret and start taking it out. Maybe have some boots. And just start taking it out while there's no minions around, sneaking in the back door, basically. You have to pretty much progress in order, take out the turrets as you come to them in the lane. And that's just a method of ensuring it happens that way. So don't be trying to really just burst down a turret until late game when it has that, if you don't have a wave of minions that are there to help you take down that barrier and allow you to actually put damage in on the turret. So we'll clear out this wave of minions here, and then we will actually go in and do a few shots on this turret and see what we can do as far as showing you how it starts to go down, and then what happens when one actually gets taken out. But again, early game, play it safe, guys. Stay back. Don't try to get overly aggressive unless you know you've got a free shot. Your junglers just killed, the jungle people, and you as a laner have seen the other person have to call back to his house to go to the shop or to, just heal up if you've got an exchange and you got the best of them. Make sure that you're not getting way out here ahead, because otherwise the junglers are just going to make a living off you and gank you. Now, as these minions approach, you'll see there that the turret no longer has that barrier. As I shoot it, I'm actually doing damage to it. It's going to start going down here. Once those minions are out of range, you got to be careful because that turret will focus on you and you will go down. So, again, just do the dance. That's all the lane is, especially early game, is a jostling back and forth, trying to get position and trying to get to where you can put damage on their turret or take out that enemy laner and not take damage yourself. I'm not built up enough here. I probably should have for the video, just built up enough to actually take out a turret, but it's no big deal. You see, you take the damage, you have to fall back. It's back and forth. It's just just trying to make sure you stay in position. But remember, the major threat is these junglers coming up out of these bushes and ganking you, what we call it, just coming up and killing you when you're not ready for it. Maybe the enemy has enemy laner has taken a few shots at you, a few pokes, and you're half or low health like I am right here. And just a few shots from the junglers, I promise you're going to go down very quickly. So play it safe. Don't get overly aggressive. Also, what you're going to have happen when you do laning is your jungler should, and we'll talk about that in the jungler video, they're going to come up for a gank as well. They might come up and stop right here in the bush. They're hiding. They can't see them. What they want you to do is sort of bait the enemy back. So you might fall back a little bit and try to get them to come up to pass that halfway point where they can easily get to them. So if you see your jungles coming up like that, don't keep pushing up and driving the enemy laner back. Fall back, make it easy on them, give them a target, and I think you'll see that it actually makes your job as a laner quite a bit easier because, again, it's all about gold. It's all about those last hits, and if there's not an enemy there, it makes it infinitely easier to just focus on those last hits and not have to worry about dodging their pokes or their attacks. Also, if you need to go to the store and you are not hurt, low health, or low power, just run down to the store in the jungle here. Make sure that you're not running into a trap or an ambush. Hopefully, maybe your team's down there. You can meet up with them. But if you are low on power or low on health and you just need to get back, then it is advisable just to use your recall ability. That is this button right here. No matter what you're doing, where you're at, you can tap that button and it's going to take you back home. It takes a few moments, so a lot of times you need to be in a safe place behind the turret, maybe hidden in the bushes. That'll take you back. And once you get to this, you see my look at that bar right there below my health. My power bar starts going up very, very quickly. Let's see if I can burn anything here. I'm not gonna be able to burn enough, but you see I use a little bit of power there. As soon as I step on these steps, boom, it just almost instantly puts me back up. So just a few moments back at home and you're gonna be in good shape. That's pretty much it, guys. The other thing that I would say as a piece of advice to you is this. One thing that I see is that once you take down an enemy turret, so let's say, for example, the game continues, I keep going, I'm pressing forward, I take out the enemy turret, their first turret, then from there, you really don't have a safe way to push in the lane. At that point, in my opinion, I'm not saying I'm the end-all be-all or I know everything about this game because I don't, but from there, like right here, I'm about to kill this turret. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, if I want to press the lane, I can stand back under my turret and farm minions. But if I want to press the turret, the next one, look how much I have to expose myself. There's no way to do that by yourself without being in great danger. Because again, they can come up from anywhere in the jungle. They can come up from this bush down here. You are just out there and there's nowhere to escape to. If they start jumping out at you, where are you going to run to? You can't make it all the way back to your turret. You're going to be dead. So my advice, especially early on, and this goes to a theme that you're going to hear me say a lot. Once that first turret goes down, for the most part, group up with your junglers. Don't steal their jungle farm, okay? Because you can always fall back in here when you see that little mini map up there. You see those red dots getting close to this part where you are safe and you can farm them. It's perfectly fine to run up there and take your farm and continue to get gold and continue to level up. But don't come down here and start killing your jungle farm because that's how they make their living. That's how they get built up in level and in gold. But group up with them. You're going to have group fights, and you rotating down is going to make all the difference in the world. Last point before we move on, what separates a good laner from a great laner is knowing when to rotate down even before the first turret is down. If you keep an eye on that, excuse me, if you keep an eye on that mini map, and all of a sudden you see a fight break out, and you know that right here, on your side or right in the middle, there is a 2-on-2 fight, and your team is engaging with the enemy jungle. If you are aware enough, and that's going to take some practice, to rotate down and help them out, you are going to be the rock star because you're going to turn those fights. All of a sudden, it's a 2-on-3 fight when it was a 2-on-2, and you're coming in dropping some massive damage on them. It takes out the enemy junglers, and that begins to do what we call a snowball. When junglers win team fights, you rotate down and help them out. Now they can invade the enemy jungle. They can take their farm. They can take their minions. You can go right back to doing what you were doing And now they don't get gold, they don't get levels, and your team starts to get ahead. When you start getting ahead, because it has that snowball effect, it just gets worse and worse and bigger. That's what's going to happen. And again, that's going to make you the rock star because you know when to rotate down. So be watching for that. Now, I'm not telling you to rotate down, maybe all the way over here if they've really invaded the jungle or something. You can do that if it's safe to do so. But most of the time, you're going to see fights go on right here in the middle, maybe slightly on their side, maybe slightly on your side. But if you can identify it and rotate down and help out your team, it makes all the difference in the world. And again, that's what separates a good jungler from a great jungler. Or excuse me, a good laner from a great laner. Guys, that is pretty much it. Again, this is not an all-encompassing or comprehensive video. This is a beginner's guide, just some tips that I wish I would have known starting out and things that might help you do a little better early game while we're all still learning. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, Jake, doing my best to help you guys suck less.